Hey, Algebra 2. Today we're going to do 7.1 sequence and series. Yes, we skipped chapter 6. That's okay. We'll take care of that senior year. Um, so how I'm going to do this chapter is every day. I'll do sequence for the first part, and then next time I'll do series for the second part. So we'll call this day 1, sequence and series. Today we're talking about what is a sequence and how we're going to use a sequence and how we're going to find sequences. So first off, what is a sequence? A sequence is pretty straightforward. And as straightforward as in we kind of done something like this before. A sequence is just simply some equation. Let's say like I'm making up an equation right now, but let's just say like 2n plus 1. Okay? So it's some equation where the domain, if you remember the domain means all the x values, is a ascending set of numbers starting at 1 usually. So let's say I want the sequence of this equation, the first 6 terms. So I'm saying the first 6 terms. So what are the first 6 numbers? Literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I say the first 6 terms, I want to know what are the values in this equation for 1 through 6. Now, how we do this should feel very familiar. It's just simply an equation. The only difference is instead of x and y, and I'll write x and y as a reference, but instead of x and y, what variables we're going to be using in this whole chapter is n and a of n. Okay? So n is going to be your x value, and a of n is going to be your y value. So I guess I should finish the equation. So a of n equals 2n plus 1. So what are my n values? I said, please give me the first 6 terms. So my n values are going to be 1 through 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing as the x value. You don't actually have to write the x and y, but I'm just showing you how they're the same thing actually. So if this is 1, what we're going to do is take 1 and plug into this equation over here. 2 times 1 plus 1. So 2 times 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 1, which is 3. So my first term, so if I said, give me the first term of this equation of a of n, it is 3. Why? Because when I plug in a 1, I get 3. My second term is going to be when I plug in a 2. 2 times 2 plus 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So my second term is 5. My first term is 1. My second term is 5. My third term is going to be 7. My fourth term is going to be 9. And think about it. 7 is 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. I'm just doing this a little faster so your video is not too long. 5 is 11. 6 is 13. Okay? So when you take your n values starting from 1 to 6, if I say the first 6 terms, I want to know what my values are when I plug in 1 through 6. So the first term's 3, second term 5, third term 7, fourth term 9, fifth term is 11, and the sixth term is 13. Effectively, I'm just asking you what are the y's of this equation. Okay? So that's the first part. Of just basically a sequence is literally just a function or equation where you usually your domain is 1 through some number, usually the first set of numbers. So if I say give me the 8th term, I would plug in 8. Give me the 100th term, I would plug in 100. Okay. So now we're going to do where I give you not the equation but the terms, and we're going to try to find the equation. Okay. So our thing is, the next thing we want to do is figure out what is the next term in a sequence. So I drew the sequence. I didn't give you the rule, which is very important. But I drew the sequence. It's up to you to figure out, oh, what is the next thing I have to do? Okay? So let's look at this first. And then we'll think, all right, this should feel familiar. This is just pattern recognition. what's the pattern between a here to here, and what is going to be my next number? And then together we're going to spitball what the rule is. But for you guys, you're just going to tell me, like your homework, it's just going to tell me what the next number is. But together we'll just practice finding the equation, because 7.2 and 7.3 is all about finding the equation. So instead of practice that here now, let's save that for later. So just tell me what the next term is. So over here, and if you want to try it yourself, pause it. 3, 6, 12, 24. Well, first your always instinct should be adding. Well, this is plus 3. This is plus 6. Okay, that doesn't work actually. Notice that it's not the same thing every time. But each one is getting twice as big. So is it times 2? 3 to 6 is times 2. 6 to 12 is times 2. 12 to 24 is times 2. So I should believe the next pattern should be times 2. So you're trying to find a pattern on the sequence here. So 3, 6, 12, 24. The next one I should guess is 48, which would be correct. Okay? Let's do the next one. Here, it doesn't look like I'm multiplying, but it looks like it's going up by 4, going up by 4, going up by 4. So the next one should be 4 more, right? Because it's 7 plus 4 is 11, 11 plus 4 is 15, 15 plus 4 is 19, 19 plus 4 should be 23. Okay? So let's talk about the rules. So this, for your homework, you just have to give me the next term, okay? But let's talk about the rules. So what would be the rule or the equation for this one right here? Well, remember, it's a table basically of n and a of n. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 terms here, so we'll go up to 5. That at the first term, it's 3. At the second term is 6. At the fourth term, it's 12. At the at the third term is 12. At the fourth term is 24. And the fourth term is 48. Fifth term is 48. So, how do we use that to our advantage? Now, like I said, we're just doing this as a thought and kind of get our mind into 7.2 and 7.3 when we eventually get there. But here, at step 1, it's 3. So I need it. So whatever I multiply 1 with, so you could do okay. So what you could do is do n minus 1. Why n minus 1? Because when I plug in 1, I want this to be 0. Plus 3 times 2. All right, scratch that. We'll talk about equations of 7.2 because it's how I want to talk about it. It kind of just literally is 7.2, section 7.2. So right now on your homework, it's just going to be finding the next term. So let's just do one more practice of that, and then I think I'm done with my video today. Let's do a tricky one. -3. 9, -27, 81. What is the next term? Okay, so here's our last one. So, it's not that tricky, actually, now I look at it, but it's a little different. But notice it goes negative, positive, right? So before we even think about the negative, positive, say, and it seems to be flipping each time, let's just talk about the numbers themselves. So here's 3 to 9. That looks like either plus 6 or times 3. Well, -3 times 9 would get you -9. So why don't we do -3? So times -3. Over here, 9 times -3 would get you -27. Over here, -27 times 3 should be x equals x times -3 should be 81. So the next thing we should expect to do is times by -3. So it's just pattern recognition in this one, which you guys should be somewhat familiar with. 8 times 3, 8, 16, 24, so -243. Okay, so that should cover everything we do today for us Algebra 2 guys. So we just want to focus on sequence today. Tomorrow we'll do series, but Zoom we'll do some problems with this where we just practice this more out, okay? Have a wonderful day, guys.